Hey folks, Technivorous here. I brought you back for another video on support. This time we're going to be doing custom supports using two separate plugins from the marketplace. So in order to get these, you're going to have to download them and you will need to restart your version of Cura. So click on the marketplace, give it a little bit to load, and scroll on down. After the main section here, the premium recommended ones, you'll get to a couple that look like this. Now this is this stair step looking icon and this cylinder icon. We're going to take both of these. So we're going to hit install and just agree, and of course we'll need to restart Cura, but we're going to add the other one as well, so we're going to install that and then we will restart Cura and take a look at both of them. So grab that, hit install, and agree. Now we let it do its thing. I'm going to restart Cura and I will see you in just a moment, show you exactly how these work.
Hey folks, Technivorous here. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, but stick around because today we're going to be talking about some pretty interesting stuff I don't think you're going to want to miss.
Alright, here we are back in Cura. We have installed our extensions and reloaded it. I've pulled in a model. Now obviously I would never attempt to print this model like this, but I am going to put it at a funky angle just to extremely exaggerate the overhang. So let's take this just like that. It'll set it down, and now you can see these are all the points that are over my angle of interface for doing something without support. So down here on the left, you can see in the per model settings I have two new selections. The first one is the custom support selection, so I can basically use a cube or a cylinder, and we can basically just click where we want to put that. Alright, very simple, very awesome, and super duper easy to use. You can change the size of the cylinder and the size of the base, and you can change it to a cube instead of a cylinder as well to give it a little bit more blocky selection there. Now it's putting these objects in as cylinders and as cubes, and then it's designating them to print as support. So this is designated in the per model settings to be printed as support. So when I slice, it'll automatically use the support settings that are in there and slice those up as they should be, whether I'm using line, grid, whatever pattern I'm using. So very simple, very easy to use. Let's check out the other one. It works in much the same way, except you have a few more options. So there's a freeform option, and you can choose a couple different shapes. Let's see, cross. Let's do a T support. And you can see that it widens it out up at the top there. There are several other options for things to do, bridging options, things like that. So this is the cross. It's basically just a almost star shaped. It's just a plus sign straight up and down. You can do support pillars that are hollow, which is pretty nice, or you can do an abutment, which basically puts support right up against the model. And there are some other options as well. So this is really in depth. You can change the size, the interior size, and the angle and all of that. So really handy tools. This is going to save you a lot of filament. Say you just have one small place you feel needs support and they try overanalyzing and telling you you're going to need a lot more than that. This is a great way to direct the support exactly where you want it. Make sure that you get the type and style that you want, and it doesn't use any filament more than what you would desire to use. Basically, it's custom supports are great not only to support models in specific orientations, but to reduce the filament used in those orientations if the printer doesn't exactly, or excuse me, if the slicer doesn't exactly see that that area doesn't need support. Like I said in my last video, I have my support angle up really high. It's at like 59 or something like that, and I don't really have issues. So we're going to slice this up. I'll show you what these supports look like once they're sliced. Just hang in there 1 second. And there you have it. Now, as I said, I'd like to reiterate that I would never orient a model with just the very little bit of it touching the build plate and try to print it like this. If I were to print this model, I would probably orient it on this surface and just drop some of that below the build plate so there is a flat surface for adhesion. But for demonstrative purposes, this is a great example of these individual supports. And as you can see, they have all retained their shape and their individual settings. They are using the pattern setting from the support selection in here where it says support pattern. But they are in the shape that they are intended to be, and they work really, really well. So we can scroll down through here and get a glimpse inside some of those, and as you can see, it is using that line pattern in there. So really, really cool. This was just a quick follow-up video to the support video I did earlier. Some of you were asking about these extensions, and I wanted to touch on them and give them the time to be in their own dedicated little space here, because they are very, very powerful tools and very, very useful. And I definitely recommend, as far as extensions go, downloading these two, or at least my recommendation would be to download the custom support cylinder extension, because that seems to be a little bit more robust and I like the options in there a little bit better. But they both work really well. They're both free and they're both fully functional, so definitely check them out if you've been curious about custom support and how to utilize it, where to place the pillars that you want, and how to do that yourself. This is the answer you've been looking for. So don't forget to leave a like on this video if it was helpful, guys. Hit that subscribe button. I've got a ton more videos like this coming at you, and ring that notification bell to get notified every time I release one. There is a ton of stuff that most people who use Cura are not familiar with, and I'm trying to cover a few of the least familiar options to expose people to some of the new ideas and some of the cooler tools and extensions you can actually use with Cura, because Cura is great by itself, but these extensions added in here that are usually community made are really, in my opinion, what makes it shine and worth checking out. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. Don't forget, like I said, to leave a like. This is going to be included in a playlist. You'll see that playlist up at the corner here. Feel free to click on that for other Cura settings, and I will see you in the next one.
Stick around, guys. I got another YouTube recommended video for you right here. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Make sure that you smash that like button. We'll see you in the next one. Technivorous out.